Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about a little experience I had recently with the Lord and my family. And I pray that this blesses you, right? And this is gonna be along the lines of us not trying to be God for people. It's exhausting, honestly. It's exhausting, and not only is it exhausting, He does it so much better than we can. So we should probably let Him do it, right? So recently, this year, I made a decision to take my health, more seriously. I went to the doctors for my physical a few months ago, and then they gave me blood pressure medication. And not because my blood pressure was terrible, but my doctor was like, listen, there's a history in my family with blood pressure. My father had end-stage renal failure. He ended up having to go through dialysis and all of these things. And my doctor's like, you know what? I would rather be safe than sorry. So let's get you started on some medication. However, that's not a place that I've ever wanted to be for myself, because I watched my dad. And the biggest thing with my father was that it was never controlled. It was never taken care of. My father was in Haiti for the majority of his life, and healthcare there is not like healthcare here. So he's in Haiti, and this is how my father took care of his blood pressure. If you're like my dad, this is your what is this? I don't want to use the word warning, but reminder that that's not the way to go. So this is how my dad handled his blood pressure. When it's high, he would take his medication. And then once it went back down, he stopped taking it. And my husband recently had a similar experience that he was on blood pressure medication. He stopped taking it because the blood pressure was looking good. Then we went to the doctors, got it checked out. Blood pressure was high. And in the words of my husband's doctor, he's like, you want to hazard a guess as to why it was better? It was because you were taking the medication. Okay? So my husband's back on his medication, thankfully. But that's how my dad, for the majority of his life, dealt with his blood pressure. Take the medication when it's high, and then when the blood pressure goes back down, he starts taking the medication. Of course, he ends up with complications and end-stage renal failure. And I ended up taking care of my dad. I love my father, and I love that we had the time together, because we always were in different countries. Since I was 9 years old, my dad was in Haiti, I was here, so I didn't really get to enjoy life with my dad. And so him being sick gave me the opportunity to spend the last 13 years of his life with him, living in the house with him, rediscovering him, and him rediscovering me. He got to, be with his grandchildren, all that. So, again, God worked that out for good, but still, it was his illness that made him come here. So having lived through that, and having had my kids witness that, I made a promise to myself that I would do what it was in my power not to be in a situation like that, right? So the doctor gives me the medication. I've been taking them religiously, but I've also been changing the way that I eat, lowering the sodium in my food, exercising, drinking more water. Now, I don't have great days every single day, but I try to be very mindful to do the right activities, okay? So cue in, my husband goes in sometime this year for his physical. And when he goes in for his physical, we had already had the incident with the blood pressure, so now he's back on taking his blood pressure medication regularly. And now his A1C, and A1C is what dictates your blood sugar levels. When people are diabetic, it's your A1C that the doctors are looking at along with other things. So his A1C was a little bit elevated, and the doctor's like, well, you need to be careful. Here's the difference between my husband and I in this case. When I saw that, I said, oh my goodness, I have to be better. My husband said, eat it, you die. Don't eat it, you die. Sir. And then he further goes and says, well, I try to be good with my food. And so if I'm trying to be good with my food and it's bad, then what's the point? Sir, for the way my mind works is, well, if you're trying and it's bad, then that means you can't afford, right, to just let it go, because even with the efforts that you've made, you still have this result, which means to me, you need to be even more vigilant to be better. And my husband is just kind of like, girl, it is what it is, because I tried and it's still bad. So he's just going to do whatever. So he tells me this, and I am the kind of person who kind of, I'm a details person, right? And so in my mind, I have imagined the worst case scenario, right? I've imagined that now it's beyond control, and now he has to take insulin, and then they're cutting off his leg, and all of these things, right? And then I'm also thinking about the fact that my husband has always said he doesn't want anybody taking care of him. And he wants to be well enough. Like, he does not want to be a burden. And not that anybody is ever a burden on a family like that, but my husband always said that. He's like, he saw everything that I had to go through with my dad, and, for my mom as well. And he's like, I never want to put my kids through that, right? So I'm like, well, if you don't want to put your kids through that, maybe you should make better decisions, right? And so that week, after we got this information, and then coupled with the fact that our oldest daughter went in, and, hers is, older, but she had went in and her A1C was slightly, and I mean ever so slightly elevated, right? And as a mom, you want to help your kids make the best decisions, but if you're raising a teenager, they know everything, right? As a matter of fact, my kids have actually said they don't know what I did in life before they got here. These kids literally walk around here thinking that they know it all. And not only do they know it all, I don't know if you have teenagers like mine, but they think they can parent you. And I'm like, you don't even understand anything, and you want to parent me? My kids have my location, but they're like, oh, Mom, you don't need my location. I have their location because I'm Haitian and we're not doing that. But it's like they think that it's their responsibility to take care of me. And again, they think they know it all. So I'm telling my daughter, like, girl, you need to eat better and you need to do this, because my mind is going to this direction of it. Well, if it's a little bad now, and it's not really worrisome. The doctor's like, maybe every 6 months we'll just check it and just adjust your diet. But in this Uber Eats, DoorDash kind of days, and she has a job. I go to bed early, and so she's hungry, she can order something. I try to present them with, healthier options, and I tell them, this is what you need to do. But the same way God does not control every single thing we do, I don't control every single thing they do. I'm not there every single moment of every single day to make sure that they make the right choice. But because I'm not there, doesn't mean I'm not worried. So when I see them do certain things, I remind them of the right activities, the right patterns. And when I don't see them doing the right things, I worry. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is, if she doesn't get a hang of it, like now it's reversible, but it might get to a place where it's not reversible. And so, my daughter's was, before, then my husband's. And then I'm just like, oh, I'm worried. And if you're a mom and you're a wife and you're even a friend, you worry about your loved ones. And I was worried about them. And one of the things I didn't do immediately was just go to God and say, hey, God, here is this result that we got. What can we do? In the words of my friend who was praying for me, and God basically told her, she's like, she's been off this week. What's going on with her? And God was like, she's off playing God for people. She's off trying to play God for people again. And when I tell you, I laughed. And I laughed because in my mind, I'm like, God is probably in heaven just shaking his head like, look at this girl again, trying to be God for everybody. And so, again, in this season that I'm with God, I'm more, I may not catch it right away, but when I catch whatever it is, I go back to God. I'm like, hey. So I'm having my morning walk and I'm talking to the Lord. And I'm like, God, I'm worried. And not only am I worried, I'm not only worried about what we saw, which, if I'm being honest, it's not bad. It's just in my mind, if it's not handled, it can get bad. And so I'm like, God, I'm worried. And I'm also worried because they're not heeding, even the warnings. I'm like, okay, guys, this is what we could do. And nobody's really, it's like they're not taking drastic measures to to change things. In essence, they're not being like me. And I'm just like, I'm gonna need y'all to do better, right? So I'm in the morning walk with God and I'm like, God, I'm worried. I'm scared that, actually, no, let me just say this. It's the morning walk started off like this, where I said, God, I have been so erratic this week, and I was like, God, my moods I've been having crazy mood swings. I haven't been feeling happy. I've been snapping at everybody and I don't like it. And I was like, God, what's going on with me? I need you to shift me because I like being happy-go-lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to bring joy into a space. I don't want to be, a person who brings somebody down. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Like, I don't want my husband to be like, oh God, here she goes, and just leave the room because I'm in a mood, right? So I'm having my talk with God and I'm like, what's going on with me? And I just want to kind of take a quick pause. And here's like, sometimes don't just take certain behaviors as is. Go to the great physician and take a moment to really have him diagnose what's going on. Because sometimes we think we got to figure it out. And the truth of the matter is, it's so much deeper than what we thought, or it's not even what we thought. So as I'm walking with God and I'm just like, God, I just don't like the way that I've been. And I want to be in a better mood. I need you to help me. I made a conscious effort to just be better. And I'm like, I don't like this. It's been a couple of days and every single time I'm just mean and I don't like it. So God said, do you recognize, he goes, whenever fear is in operation with you, this is how you respond to fear. And I was like, oh my God, this is true. And this is when I started having that conversation with him. I said, yeah, you're right. I am scared that they're not going to make the right decision. And then it's going to be an issue for them later on in life. And I'm also scared that, again, trying to play God for people. So this is for all of us out here in the streets that just love to be seated in the seat of, honor, for lack of a better way of saying it. Get out, God's seat, get out of his way. Because whenever we try to play God, we get overwhelmed because this is too heavy for us. We were never meant to try to run the lives of those around us. And even if they were to make all kinds of bad decisions, the same way God can turn all of our bad situations around for us and still work everything out for good. Like, I remember listening to a pastor and he said, I love the fact that God can take the good in the good and work it for good. I love the fact that he can take the good and the bad and still work it for good. He goes, but what I love even more is that he can still take the bad and the bad and work it for good. So in God's economy, it all works out for good. So this is for us worriers and people who want to be in God's way and try to play God for people, to let us know that it doesn't matter. We can't control what they do, right? And not only that, we can't control what they do, God is still in control. No matter what they do, God promises. Now, there's going to be consequences. Okay, let's not disregard the fact that there's going to be consequences. Now, I'm not saying if my husband or my daughter does not make better decisions about their health, they may not still suffer the consequences of, diabetes. However, I have to trust in the fact that God has got them, and that load that I tried to carry for myself, I have to leave it with God. Because now it's affecting me. I'm erratic. I'm tired. And I think I had this, I may have mentioned this before, but when I go on my morning walks, this is how I know when I'm in a good space, because I'm light. I'm walking and I'm soaring. But then when I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, my legs hurt. Like, I can normally walk 3 miles, no problem. I am jamming. And then on those days and that was that particular day, that's how I felt that day. On those days where I want to carry everybody's weight, I feel so heavy. And again, sometimes we just think it's natural. It's not always just natural, right? I remember God had he had given me this example. He said, if you put a lot of weight on your shoulders in the natural, like, right? If I'm trying to walk around, like, just an easy example. I've come from the grocery store. I've shopped for groceries for my family for the whole week. If I try to carry all those groceries inside the house at once, chances are I wouldn't make it inside the house, right? Because I would buckle under the pressure of the weight of all them groceries. And not only would I buckle under the pressure of that weight, there are things that would break. Because once I've buckled, there are things that are gonna fall, and the fragile things are gonna break. Think about that, right? So what are some of those things that we are carrying in, but we can't see that we're carrying it, but because we're carrying so much, the fragile things are breaking. What are those fragile areas in your life that you're not paying attention to, but because you're crumbling under the weight of the stuff that you've decided to carry, now those fragile things are breaking. The fragile things like your peace. The fragile things like your joy. The fragile things like your rest. The fragile things like, the attitude and the way that you greet your husband in the morning. Because let me tell you something, that week when I was carrying that worry and I was allowing fear to be the driver of my life, I wasn't pleasant to be around. And so if I would maintain that for, a while, being unpleasant and not being in the right state of mind, maybe that would have caused issues in my marriage later on, left unchecked, right? So as we're trying to carry certain things, what really are those fragile areas that are suffering, right? So I had the conversation with God, and he said, again, when you're afraid, you're erratic. Right now, fear is in operation. And I was just like, oh my God. And I took a moment, and I was like, God, first of all, I turned my husband and my daughter over to you. I trust your plans for their lives, because you told me that, and not just me, but you told all of us that you have plans to prosper us, to give us a hope in the future. That's your plan for us. You've come so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. That's your goal, right? Your yoke is easy, your burden is light. I mean, all of these things testify to that you want good for us. So I give them to you. And then instead of, and we talked about this last episode, where sometimes we get the revelation and then we try to, carry out the revelation based upon our own instruction. I said, okay, God, you're right. Now I'm operating in fear, and I don't want to, because we don't do that here. Second of all, I'm giving them over to you. That's your son and your daughter. Like, before they were my husband and my daughter, they're yours. And you are the one that have a purpose and a plan for their lives, more than I do. Like, I just, like my husband, we met. And I'm here in his life, discovering the plan you have for him and helping him bring forth the plans, the purpose that you ordained for him. Same thing with my daughter. I'm just a conduit that you're using to help bring to pass what you have for their lives. And so ultimately, it's your responsibility to get them to where you want them and where you need them to be. That's one. Two, I'm not their God. And I'm not responsible for their decisions. And I can't manipulate them because of fear to do what I want them to do. I'm going to trust the same way when I mess up, you work it out for my good. That even if they were to mess up, you're going to work it out for their good. I'm going to get off the throne, give you back your space. I mean, and then, and let me say this, just because that's our daddy doesn't mean we get to sit on his throne. He's our dad, yeah, for sure. But this is not one king that the throne has ever passed down. I know, traditionally, one king dies and then the next king gets the throne. Let me remind us, not just you, me too, that the Lord has not given up the throne for one of us to sit on. This is not a throne that is being passed. We're sharing in God's glory, but we don't ever get to sit on the throne. And if we're honest, thank God for that. Because we couldn't handle it. I don't know. We've seen that movie. It's an older movie, Bruce Almighty, right? When God let him run the world, and not even the world, let me just a little specific part of his community for a couple of days, right? How much of a mess did he make of that? And if we're trying to run people's lives, how much of a mess are we going to make with that, right? So I said, okay, God, first of all, forgive me, because I'm not here to operate in fear. I'm here to operate in the fullness of your joy. And that's the thing that I prayed for. Like, God, I want to operate in your joy, your peace, which you have for me. I don't want fear to be the deciding factor in how I live my life. Absolutely not. So I did that. And then I said, Lord, how can I best help them? Right? As a mom, as a wife, I can't sit by and do nothing. And I don't think I'm supposed to sit by and do nothing. But instead of me trying to figure out, and that's why I got overwhelmed, because I really was trying to take up their whole entire life and plan every single detail. And then God, in his infinite wisdom, mercy, and grace, providence, he gave me such a simple solution. I meal prep every single week. I meal prep for my house. I meal prep for my clients. I have a weekly menu, right? Because again, I was trying to go in my mind and God was like, girl, just send the menu to your family like you send the menu to your clients. Have them pick the healthy meals that they like. And as you're preparing the meals for your clients, for yourself, you prepare for your family. And they're going to eat it because they're the one who picked it. Like, they get to look at the menu and they get to select what they like. And you don't have to figure out, because again, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what if this, what if that? And God said, just send them the menu and they'll pick what they like. You prepare what they like. And what I love about God is the solution he gave me didn't need to take any more time out of my day. I didn't need to do any, I'm not really gonna have to change much of anything. He's worked it out in such a way that it already fits into what I'm already doing, which is why it's such a great idea that he's God. Because when I tried to figure it out for myself, and I tried to work out all the details, and I had so many different open tabs in my mind, open problems that I needed to solve with one consultation from God. Just one. He fixed it. And not only did he fix it in such a way that it was not an added burden to me. It wasn't, because some of us, let's be honest, some of us, it's like, I can't add one more thing to my list, right? And if you're like that, today is your invitation to bring that list to God and ask him, how can you simplify? You'll be surprised to find out that something that seems like it's 10 different problems, God will give you one solution that fixes all of them. So for all of us who just love, and maybe we don't love to, but maybe life has been so rough on us. The circumstances and situations of our life has been so difficult that we feel like we have to, at some point we were so out of control that we feel like we have to hold on to control. But is it worth it to hold on to control if that control is burying you in fear and doubt? If you're exhausted, you can't sleep at night, you have a migraine, is it worth it? Is it worth it to try to hold on to control when holding on to control makes you miss out on so many other things? As soon as God showed me, fear is an operation here, and you get crazy when you're in fear. Kick that out promptly. And then I'm like, okay, God, what do I do? And he told me what to do. All the weight lifted. I was able to complete my walk a lot easier than the way I started. I was able to come back home and just, breathe. And literally at the end of the walk, God was like, when you get back home, I want you to go in and declare in your home, this is a house of peace. And so he's like, everything that you've let in over the course of the last couple of days, kick it out. And then it's fixed. I'm not walking around and, because again, sometimes when we're afraid, now being at home reminds us, okay, of all of those situations. Just one consultation with God, everything is fixed. So I just want to encourage you today, those of us who either just, life has put us in a situation where sometimes we feel like we have to be in control. We have to be at the helm of stuff. and it's the only way that you feel like you're okay because you've been let down. Let's be honest. The last time you let go of control, the last time you weren't in charge, people let you down. The last time you let somebody in, they broke your trust. They took advantage of your generosity and your love and your sweetness. And so now you're like, listen, I gotta, right? Or maybe you felt like you didn't do the right thing and then something bad happened. I just want to encourage you, like, no matter how much you think you're in control, God is always in control. And I'm going to end with this, this quick story. I remember my dad, before he moved to the United States to live with us, I got a call. He was not well. And I'm scrambling to get my dad here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy him a plane ticket. I'm trying to find flights. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. And as I'm, scrambling, trying to get him here as quickly as possible, I will never forget I heard God say, you realize you can still come and he dies with you. Like, you realize that, right? And that was God's reminder. I wouldn't call that a gentle reminder, but that was God's very kind of like eye-opening reminder that I'm not in control and he's in control. And that the things that I do, yeah, they matter. But more than anything in that moment, God reminded me what I needed to do was to turn the focus to him. So I prayed, I'm like, God, please keep my dad. Because really, truly, it's not me buying him the plane ticket that's going to save him. It's not bringing him to the United States where there's good, there's better healthcare than Haiti that's going to save his life. It's you that's going to sustain him to be able to even make it. So for you, remember that, yeah, there are the things that you're going to do, but it's the things that God does that's first. It's the thing that God is in control of and command of that makes the big difference first. And then, wouldn't you prefer to be rested? Do you like being heavy? Do you like being, depressed? Do you like being sad? Do you like being overwhelmed? I know you don't, because I know I don't like it. I don't like to feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulder. And I know that you probably don't like it either. So this is your opportunity to give that weight to him. His yoke is easy. His burden is light. And one of the prayers that I've been making is like, God, listen, all of these things that you say in the Bible, I want to see them in this life. Father God, if the yoke feels heavy, the burden feels heavy, and your word says it's easy and it's light, where's the disconnect? Because I want what your word says. And this is not a pipe dream. It's available, but we really, really have to let go. So let go. I know we say this all the time in the church. Let go. Let God. And if you don't know how to let go, ask God. God, how do I really display surrender? How do I really get out of your way? Don't forget to repent, right? Don't forget to repent. God, I'm sorry that I've been trying to play your role. I know that it's only you that's God. And I'm sorry that I've tried to be God for myself because of fear or whatever it is. And I'm sorry that I've tried to play God for everybody else. I need you to forgive me, and I need you to help me, walk with me, so that I can really let it go. Mend the broken places of my heart. Open my eyes so that I can see that I'm safe now, especially in your arms. And really and truly let go. I encourage you. It's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding. And if nothing else, it makes a morning walk so much better. I pray that this blessed you. And I pray more than anything that not only that these messages and these videos bless you, but I pray that you will implement the things that we talk about so that you can really see the differences in your life. I want you to go into 2026 light. So let go of everything, every weight that so easily besets. I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe. And I will appreciate that. Have a good week. Bye.